How are you doing the job differently than Kamala did it?
Well, I don't have, 4 shots of vodka before every meeting. That's one way I think that Kamala really tried to bring herself into the role is these word salads. And I think that I would need the help of a lot of alcohol to answer a question the way that Kamala Harris answered questions. I mean, look, man, I
Whoa. Whoa. JD Vance bringing it on Kamala. Oh, it's almost the same way of doing it. He just doesn't take 4 shots of vodka first. It's pretty much the same thing. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the following program. I am your host, Joe Neerman, a.k.a. Good Lawgic. I hope you had a fine weekend. I hope everything went well for you. I know I was here last night, okay? But time is blurring together for me. I'm an old man, and I'm running ragged. So time is blurring. It's all like I don't even know what's happening. I was on 6 different shows yesterday. I've been running around courthouses, dropping videos, and it's been kind of a burn, and that's why I'm so blessed to have and bring to you my co-host tonight. That's right, Jim.
Hey, everybody.
Jim tells me. He doesn't just tell you. Jim tells me because he's like, "This is what we're covering tonight, Joe." I'm like, cool. Bring it.
I just want to thank everybody. I did get to 1,000 followers today. Awesome, but I ran into a minor hiccup with YouTube demonetizing my channel for, I don't know. So I'm fighting with them, but we're just going to keep going and moving forward. And
it's a restream issue, which I think backstage what we were talking about right before the show. I think we sorted it, and it's probably going to take all of 10 minutes for you to remedy the situation and have it not be affecting you going forward. So, and it's a sort of issue they tend to be relatively quick about ameliorating. So certainly I would keep from restreaming this show until they recognize your monetized status as far as giving you your ads, because they will sometimes take a few weeks or a month to recognize that. So until that happens, and you'll get notification from them that, hey, congratulations, we're going to be paying you for putting ads up on your videos. At that point, I would say go ahead and restream. But until then, you certainly don't want to give them any red flags to to sort of get in your way. So anyhow, that's what I would certainly recommend as far as the best way to do it. But first story up tonight. What do we got? What do you got for me? What do you got for me?
Well, we have 3 good stories. We'll see if we can get to all of them. But the first one is the Adam Schiff has been accused of mortgage fraud.
Adam Schiff accused of mortgage fraud, and here it is. Adam Schiff accused. Bank records, voter registration records, and a whistleblower confirms beyond a shadow of a doubt, which, by the way, is far beyond the standard for conviction, because a lot of people get this confused. What's the yardstick for conviction? Jim?
Beyond a reasonable doubt.
Reasonable, not a shadow of a doubt. A reasonable doubt, which I think is lower than beyond a shadow of a doubt. So, yes, beyond the shadow of a doubt, Adam Schiff is guilty of perjury, voter fraud, mortgage fraud, violating both state and federal law. Quote, this complaint has been submitted to multiple U.S. House agencies and to the House Judiciary, House Ethics, and House Oversight Committee. And it's true, Adam Schiff has been checking the box principal residence on multiple mortgage applications in 2 different states. 2 different states. The good news is statute of limitations begins at the date of discovery. Is that true? That's what you're probably saying. Joe, is that true? Well, probably.
Here's a question, Joe.
Yeah.
Could they charge him with a felony for each payment made like they did to Trump?
I don't know. I don't know.
It's only fair, right?
It's an interesting thought. Certainly, every time he checked the box, they can charge him for. Certainly, I would think. So, but as far as this question here, statute of limitations begins at the date of discovery. That's likely true when it comes to fraud. and fraudulent activity, the way statute of limitations tends to work is it's 6 years or 1 year from the date of discovery of the fraudulent activity. That's the way it tends to work, at least in a civil setting. It makes sense that I haven't checked the criminal statute. It makes sense that it would be something similar in a criminal setting, and it would be 1 year from discovery or from a reasonable ability to discover. Like, you might be able to have constructive knowledge, which would be the only hiccup here. But as far as, you know, as far as it's likely something that we're within the statute of limitations. A complaint was officially filed earlier this year by Christine Bish and Darren Ellis. That's she my bish. That's right, Christine. In other words, the Trump DOJ can arrest, charge, indict, prosecute, and incarcerate the fraud. Senator Adam Schiff for the crimes of perjury, voter fraud, and bank fraud. Wow. That sounds like a lot of fraud. Just fraud here, fraud there, fraud everywhere. A Republican member of Congress was charged with criminal counts for doing the same effing thing. Whoa, watch the language there, Robin. Doing the same thing. Stephen Watkins of Oklahoma, Federal Bureau of Prisons. I guess trying to notify. Hey, should we check out this report here? What do you think? Should we check out this report?
Yeah, it's a little long. You might, I don't think we want to listen to the whole thing, but
let's see what we got.
One such bog dweller, it should come as no surprise to anyone, is chief Trump-hating, failed Hollywood scriptwriter, California Representative Adam Schiff.
Wait, did he really write a script? I
gotta Google that now.
Yes, now I need to know. I need this script. Oh, I need this script. Oh my God. I would so love to read his script. You know, I once wrote I started writing a manuscript for a novel a long time ago, like 15 years ago, which was it was a very dark novel, but it was like the whole deal was supposed to be. Yeah,
I'm seeing something.
That's never
saying
seen a lot of day.
He wrote something similar to Schindler's List.
Really?
A script, and he's in 2018. It was reported he was writing a spy movie script.
Really?
Well, maybe it's the same one because the aftermath of the Holocaust, murder mystery.
All right. Well, I wish we could see that. I would love to do a reading of this script there, like turn it into like a play and just do like assemble the good Lawgic players and just do a reading of his script.
I will search for it, but right now it's just news articles talking about it.
See if you can put your hands on that. That is gold. That's gold right there. He called it Schindler's List Part 2.
Yeah. Basically, I think so.
That'd be great. Oh my God. That would be so good. All right, let's do it.
Veteran investigators Christine Bish and John Stubbins filed an ethics complaint last week alleging that Adam Schiff committed fraud and perjury by declaring both his homes in California and Maryland as his primary residence, thereby violating state and federal laws, so they say. Now
you can understand why he would think that he can make Maryland his primary residence, because it could be a house that's like 10 minutes, a half hour from the Capitol, right? Because DC is right on the border of the Capitol. So that's likely what he was trying to claim. But yeah, you can't do that. I actually think that there's probably a law that you have to maintain your home district as your primary residence. You would think that's the way it should be, right? You're representing the people of your state. He's representing Californians. You would think that's where his sole primary.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, a lot of congressmen for the first several years sleep in their offices or room together. Multiple congressmen will rent a place, and they'll basically.
Who do you think was dorming with Maxine Waters? If you had to put together like the worst bedfellows of the Capitol. Like the worst,
I'm picturing Maxine Waters and Nancy Pelosi having pillow fights. Oh God! Oh, what are you doing to me, Joe?
I never heard the claim you just threw out there about them bunking up together. I never heard that before.
Really?
But no, I never heard that before.
Oh, no, yeah, no.
Can you cite one example? I want to hear one
right.
dynamic duo, one Andy and Gary, ambiguous duo who decide we're going to shack up together like we're the odd couple here. We'll have the neat freak and the slob. I want to know who that guy. I want to know, like how this whole thing. Just trying to envision it.
Here we go. 3 congressmen who lived in one DC house.
3 congressmen living in one DC house. You gotta wonder how that didn't need like witness protection kind of levels. Which 3 congressmen?
It says, wait a minute. The real life adventures of 3 Democrat congressmen, Rep. George Miller of California.
I knew they were Democrats.
Senator Chuck Schumer of New York and Senator Dick Durbin of Illinois.
Oh my God!
Living in a district together as roommates.
Schumer and Dick. Oh my God, Chuck and Dick. Wow. Wow. All right.
Yeah,
all right.
Schumer moved in when he was a representative and stayed there ever since.
Wow. There you go. Explains
it also
so
says
much.
Leon Panetta lived there for a while. So did Bill De La Hunt from Massachusetts. A bunch of Democrats lived in this house together. But I know I heard other stories about it where they would they would get apartments or whatever, or condos and share space because it's so expensive to live there. And
this is the sort of thing that if I ever made it into DC, not that I ever would, because I'd be afraid of turning into the next Dan Bongino. So if I ever did, I'll tell you right now that this would be an argument that I would end up having with Lady Lawgic, where she would be like, "Why do you have to waste the money? You're only there like 100 nights, and he's probably not going to be there many of those nights. Like, why do you have to raise some money?" And I'd be like, no, I'm not doing it. I am not shacking up with Congressman Roy Hobbs. I don't care. Chip Roy. I'm not doing it. It's not happening. It is not happening. I can so see that conversation going down, and I'd just be like, oh my God, no. And she always looks at me. She was very cost conscious, and she looks at me like I spend a lot of money that doesn't need to be spent. So there you go.
Think about the fact that if Chuck Schumer was doing the barbecue grilling, we saw pictures of how he barbecues. He puts cheese on raw hamburgers.
Good. Wrong. Not that I know how you would cook cheeseburgers, but thank you for the test. I hope that was successful. Brad Pett says 2-parter. Have you noticed Wesley Huff as a biblical scholar? Nope. How many super chats do we need to get a great Lawgic Huff discussion debate on the text? I don't even know who that is.
Wesley Huff, I believe, was the guy who had a debate with Billy Carson. I don't know if you know who Billy Carson is. He's this guy he's totally like into the Anunnaki aliens and stuff, and Huff is a biblical scholar, and so he was basically, I think, but Huff kind of deflated Billy Carson's balloon.
Oh, I think I might know who. Is he like a pastor, Billy Huff?
Yeah, and then I think there was like a
and there are videos of him like standing like on the street talking to a whole crowd of people.
I think so.
I think I've seen him. Yeah, that's first and foremost. I think his channel is much bigger than mine, isn't he?
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to be swinging on my doorstep anytime soon. And I would never put my father. I would never put it in. I would do it sooner, but stuff like that is things that historically has never gone well for Jews. You go back a 1,000 years where they would have like these debates. There's even a movie called The Disputation, like between Maimonides and like bishops of the day. And historically, it's always just been, it's led to be like, all right, they debated. Now let's kill a whole bunch of them. So it's just bad. It's just bad karma. No. God bless you. Thank you so much. So much for gifting 5 new members to the following. Do you know who he brought in here? Who did he bring in here? Do you know? Do you even know? You don't know. You don't know.
Let's see.
I'm gonna
Okay,
check
I
this
have
out
it.
myself.
Big H, Erica Sandwall, LK, Darth Kitty, Andrew Knapp.
Welcome to the following. I hope all 5 of you have the kindness and courtesy to express your gratitude to Nananos for gifting you with a membership in the following, which is not at all a cult type of cult. It's just about greater community, unity, learning, and thinking. That's why people keep coming back here, because they get to listen to Jim over here, who's obviously he's all about community. He's practically a Marxist, and then you have the unity. And the learning and the thinking. What else could you possibly want? And that's what leads you to greater personal growth. So God bless you, Nananos. Thank you so much. Maxine Watershoe, Jim Clyburn, and Al Green having baby. Stop it. Oh, my.
Yeah.
No.
You can't get those thoughts out of your head now.
No. We're not even going down that. I don't want to hear about any. I don't even like the FO word. I don't even like it in any context, no matter who you're trying to make me visualize. But you can't do that. Should we continue with the rest of this report here?
We could. I just want to say for the record that I am not a Marxist, but I am not opposed to giving them free helicopter rides.
Okay. Free helicopter rides. Wait, what does that mean? Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Yeah. And I'm here for the alternative Torah interpretation, cult kind of cult. It's not alternative. I don't offer alternative. I give you actual Torah. Guys, that says disputation was Ramban, not Rambam, which is Nachmanides, not Maimonides. My apologies. I appreciate you correcting me on my historical ignorance. Nachmanides was, I believe, a grandson of Maimonides. My grandson bar mitzvah celebration was this past Shabbat. Oh, Mazel, that's very nice. He laid the entire Sedra, V'sika Minyan Baruch Shem Kanana Harish. Lots of nachas on him. And stop making me say words that no one but you and I understand, cousin. Okay, so yeah, but Mazel, I am happy for you. It's very exciting. All right, let's get back into no California love for Schiff.
Many lawmakers keep a place in Washington, especially if they represent a state from far away, like Schiff does. But only one of their homes can be considered their primary residence.
Hence the word primary.
And if you're a lawmaker, your primary residence must technically be in the district you represent.
That's what I said.
Makes sense. But if you keep 2 primary residences, you are able to manipulate the system, get lower mortgage rates. And this is exactly what Bish and Stubbins allege.
One angry Bish.
This story emerges as Schiff runs for the U.S. Senate against a backdrop where California homelessness has hit record highs and cost of living has driven Californians out.
Including their own senator.
Apparent discrepancies in Schiff's voting record, where Schiff claims both homes in Maryland and California as primary residences between 2002 and 2013. The hypocrisy is glaring. Just this year, Adam Schiff's Democrats pushed Robert F. Kennedy Jr. off the ballot in New York over his debates about his various residencies.
Ooh, I didn't think of that.
Hold these same standards up to?
I thought they were going to go into the whole thing with the mortgages in the New York case against Trump, but they're going down the RFK point, which is an interesting point to go.
Adam Schiff joining us now to discuss the exclusive details is best-selling author and investigative journalist Seamus Bruner, author of Controligarchs. Seamus, welcome back.
Hey, Chanel, it's great to be with you. Yeah, Adam Schiff is in a world of trouble if the legal system is fair. I know that this complaint has been submitted to multiple U.S. House agencies and to the House Judiciary, House Ethics, and House Oversight Committee. And it's true, Adam Schiff has been checking the box principal residence on multiple mortgage applications in 2 different.
So why do you think we haven't seen charges yet, Jim?
I think, they would have to convene a grand jury, right? And it's possible that's why they did there was just a big article talking about the DOJ remove the limitations on charging sitting members of Congress with crimes. That was posted that and there were some people complaining about it, that they used to have to be approved by Maine DOJ, like signed off and like gone over by some kind of I don't know, apolitical somebody to make sure.
You're saying because he's a senator.
Because he's a senator, yeah. They had special rules, I guess, where you weren't supposed to charge congressmen and senators with crimes unless it was proven that it's not at all political that you're looking at them or anything like that. But that went out the window with Trump, so it's all over now.
Well, Trump technically was not in Congress when they went after him over the last couple of years. So, I mean, that might be someone. He was a candidate, but he was not a member of Congress. So, it's the extent that there's the DOJ has rules about going at someone who's in Congress. He wasn't in any official capacity when they went after him. To be fair, but let's look at the actual written report on Schiff here. So, Adam Schiff, Representative California's 30th Congressional District. This was presented to the U.S. House Ethics, Oversight, and Judiciary Committees from Christine Bish and Darren Ellis. Adam Schiff, representative of California's 30th Congressional District. That's a while ago. He's a senator now, a current candidate for U.S. Senate. So this was back in October 24, before he won his election. At the same time, Adam Schiff and wife Eve Schiff owned the home at 425 Amherst Drive in Burbank, California. In May 2003, Adam and Eve sold their home in Burbank. Subsequently purchased a home. I never even noticed that before. Wow. Well, that's good. That was a quick pickup by you. Yeah, Adam and Eve sold their home and subsequently purchased a home at 8204 Windsor View Terrace, Potomac, Maryland, in June of 2003. The Maryland home was purchased with acknowledgement and written affirmation that the home was the primary residence, as evidenced by official mortgage documents. Okay. In July of 2003, Adam Schiff registered to vote as California resident, claiming the home address of 333 Andover Drive, Burbank, California, a fully furnished one-bedroom home, one-bedroom, one-bathroom apartment, roughly 700 square foot in size. In 2009, Adam Schiff and Eve refinanced. So what I would say is, okay, technically, as of 2003, they might not have done anything wrong, because I don't think he was a congressman going back to 2003. And if he's switching over from being Maryland to California, that's not a problem. But in 2009, they refinanced the Maryland home, reaffirming it as their primary residence. Also in 2009, Adam Schiff was subject to U.S. House of Representatives ethics complaint against him pertaining to the home resident status. Can you check up what year he became a member of the House? So this way we can see.
He served in the California State Senate from 96 to 2000. 2001, he became a congressman.
Oh, so he was a congressman in 2003. Okay, interesting. Thank you. So they had a hearing about this all the way back in 2009. And the hearing itself resulted in Adam Schiff's admission of wrongdoing, claiming that he made a mistake in reference to mortgage documents. Okay, so correct your mistake. In June 2009, Adam and Eve purchased a 650 square foot one bed, one bath condo located in Burbank, California. At the time of purchase, had two minor children of approximate middle school age. Review of available mortgage documents offered no distinction in regards to primary or secondary residence, which means they didn't do anything with that. They didn't claim primary. Additionally, Adam Schiff registered as a California voter that no condominium address aforementioned. In 2010, Schiff refinanced his home, reaffirming previous documents identifying as primary residence. Adam and Eve proceeded to refinance the Maryland home located at 8204 two additional times in 2011 and 2013, identifying as the primary residence in the official mortgage documents. This is after. It's important that he was already cited in 2009 and said, whoops, because you can't. And once you say whoops, and there's a whole big to-do that's made about it in 2009, for him to repeat the offense in 2011 and 2013 makes it seem far more willful, because that's not an accident at this point. Maryland Code 7401 defines mortgage fraud as any action made by a person with the intent to fraud that involves knowingly making any deliberate statement. I got to pull up the next page here. Hold on a second. Any deliberate statement. Get a little bigger here.
Yeah, I would have thought it would have been more believable if Adam Schiff's wife's name was Steve.
This is not in the right order. All right, but
It
they
should-
end up
it
going
should-
into a timeline. They end up jumping in on a timeline here. So let me share that with you.
It should have been a whole.
Yeah, no, it looks like it's in the
actually
middle of a
quite long.
sentence.
It's
It looks like
6
it's the middle of
pages, I think.
it looks like it's the middle of a sentence, and then it just goes into a timeline. So maybe they skipped out, or maybe I don't know. I'm just looking at the link you gave me. Here's the timeline. 98, they purchased Burbank. 2000, he became appointed to Congress.
There's several pages in between there. I'm looking at it now.
Yeah, 03, sold California home. 03, purchased the Potomac in Maryland. And they come on through here as far as registering to vote. Look, the key thing here is reaffirming the primary residence. Now they're saying 2010 and 11 and 13, but this was all after 2009 when he's subject to U.S. House of Representative ethics complaint. This could be a real problem for him. It could be. I'm not saying he's guilty. I'm simply saying let's see what they have for their evidence. Individual grant deed. Cash out refinance. Individual grant deed from the sale. Deed of trust purchase. Occupancy. Clause 6, voter registration form. They come with receipts. I like that. They don't say what their years are for each of these. They probably need to have copies of the documents here. I would love to see this guy end up having to even face the hassle of trying to defend from these charges. Because
he's kind of in the same predicament as Tish James, because to be a senator from California, you have to be a resident of California.
Yeah, and he also can't say, we checked the wrong box after he was already the subject of censure in 2009 and said, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't know what I was doing, and I'm just going to do it again 2 years from now, and again 2 years after that. You can't. I mean, that belies any sort of credibility. And I actually think potentially what it would be. So they're saying it's mortgage fraud and finance issues. I would love to see.
I mean, technically, if he did stuff over the wire, they could charge him with wire fraud.
I would so love to see it. I would so love to see this guy go down. Such a terrible human being. It's frustrating because this sort of plays into what I was talking about on the whole Diddy charge thing, which I am going to be doing an extended Diddy thing in 40 minutes or so, which is why I'm going to move on to the next story in a moment. But it's like he's done so many terrible things, lied so many times, basically made this country a suckier place time after time after time after time, where he's basically lying about the Russia collusion hoax and leading that whole charge. And he's just so completely full of crap. And to see him go down for mortgage fraud, which just doesn't feel like justice. It's sort of like in the Diddy charges where it's like, they're going after him for this, and you're like, there's so much more. There's so much more. But to be realistic, it's much harder. It's harder to press criminal charges against him for the things that this Satan spawn probably has done. And when I say
his colluding with that Eric Camarello or whatever, the whistleblower over the Ukraine stuff, and
we're totally going to give you access to the whistleblower. You just can't mention his name, and then we'll never actually bring him out. Yeah. And this is not to mention all the allegations that if you're a follower of Q, which I'm not, but that all these allegations about his private life being a sordid array of young boys, which is horrifying. And I don't want to give it credit because I don't. All I know is basically what I told you.
Yeah, but I don't believe the Q stuff, but I do know that he was very closely tied to that Ed Buck guy who went to prison for some weird stuff.
Yeah, and there are pictures of him which are very unsettling.
Mm-hmm.
As far as him being with young kids and looking as unsettling as someone that they would throw into a Kamala commercial. It was just very. There's one in his overalls where you're just like, what the hell am I even looking at here? Where he's like got this little black kid with him. You saw that picture?
Yeah, I've seen it when he's in the overalls and everything. It looks just like it doesn't
He looks
look good.
so pervy. He
Yeah.
looks like he really looks. Everything about him. Yeah, I would not be surprised if he's an Adobe Acrobat, and yeah, we're not going to go any further down that road because, like I said, I'm not leveling any charges. I'm just telling you, I've heard people talk about that, and I think I would not be remotely surprised if he's a monster, but I have zero knowledge of that whatsoever, and I'm certainly not making that allegation. I'm not even saying as an opinion that I have about him. I'm just saying the opinions I have about him are rooted in what he's done in Congress and how he's so completely full of crap and corrupt. So to see him go down would just that would be just any way possible. Did he Epstein more of this Schiff and James? Well, I wish I could. Wish I could, but I have to cover Diddy. You know that, right? I mean, Dick, I have to cover Diddy. But anyway, let's move on because he's got more for me to cover, and if I don't, then Jim gets all mad at me and things are bad.
So you can either go to the story that's like a shot in a chaser of the mayor of Chicago.
Oh, let's do that. Let's do that real quick. Yeah. So let's get into the Harmeet, which I referenced here. We're gonna do this first. Hey, I'm gonna ask you. Do you remember Lori Lightfoot?
Yeah.
And do you remember all the issues she had?
Yeah, and then somehow she became this beacon of like honesty, and she was investigating the corruption in Dalton, Illinois. So
I'm just saying but the thing is, like, she was keeping out reporters unless they were white. Like, what is it with Chicago and their black bigoted mayors?
It's been going on in Chicago for quite a long time. Hiring practices in Chicago.
Oh, I forgot who I'm talking to. I'm talking to Mr. Chicago over here.
Yeah, it was brutal. It was always bad. Like the dailies, it was patronage. You had to know somebody. You had to get your alderman. You had to do stuff for people. You had to go as your ward boss in order to get a job with the city. And then it changed and became racial.
What were you gonna say?
Racial. It became racial.
It became very racial. Yeah. All right. Well, Chicago Mayor Johnson just said, quote, "The reason I hired so many blacks to run Chicago is because we're planet Earth's most generous race." Oh, how nice. Oh, you didn't know that, did you? Did you know that they're the most generous race? We should have a poll. We should. I'm like, which is the planet's most generous race?
When it comes to giving out free lead, they're the best.
The most generous race. I don't know. I'm very curious as to which is the planet's most generous race, because I think I need to get to the bottom of that. I want to know who folks think is the planet's most generous race. I'm going to let you suggest. Like what I should put in for my suggestions. Which is the planet's most generous race?
Well, technically, I think it would be Americans because we give more money away than anyone else to the rest of the world.
Americans are not technically a race.
I know,
race.
but I think it's dependent on, how you classify things, because the Chinese would say that they're the most generous because it's a communist country and they just give everything to everybody, supposedly, and
I'm just if every race you mention, I'm throwing out here.
I mean, Hispanics would be another race, but
right.
I'm sure they're very, they're very Catholic in South America and Central America, so they probably do a lot of charity work. I don't think it's one of them things that anyone should actually ever say and talk about.
It's not a good thing to talk. You're saying I'm treading in dangerous water.
No matter
here.
what you do, it's not.
Joe, what are you doing? That's what you're basically thinking.
Yeah,
to
because
yourself.
it's more of
are
a
you
personal,
out of your mind?
Charity's more of a personal thing. Each person, it's upon themselves, and for the glory of God to help your neighbor or whatever. It's not do unto others, you know, as they would do unto you, all that jazz.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll just throw out one more option here. Give me one more option.
Oh, okay. You do the Arabs.
That's not even a race either, is it?
I don't know. Is it?
I don't think is that a race? I don't know if that's I don't even know what a race is.
Canadians? I don't know.
Oh, that I like that. All right, which is the planet's most generous race? You can choose between Aborigines, the tortoise hare, Canadians, and NASCAR. So we'll see how we do there. Anyway, Chicago Mayor Johnson just said the reason I hired is because the most generous race. They went on to highlight all the blacks in powerful positions in the city government. Let's hear from this clown. Let's hear from him. I think he's very generous in like basically signing up to like.
He is extremely generous to his hairstylist. From what I understand, he spends thousands of dollars a week on getting his hair did.
Oh, well, there you go. All right, let's see what he's got here.
Some detractors that will push back on me and say, you know, the only thing that the mayor talks about is the hiring of black people. No, what I'm saying is when you hire our people, we always look out for everybody else. We are the most generous people on the planet.
You're only looking for black people, though. It's like he doesn't even see the hypocrisy. You're literally admitting that you're looking out for black people while saying,
I don't know too many cultures that have play cousins. That's how generous we are. We just make somebody a family member, right?
how is that generous?
This is how we are. And so business and economic neighborhood development, the deputy mayor is a black woman. Department of Planning and Development is a black woman. Infrastructure deputy mayor is a black woman. Chief operations officer is a black man.
Imagine someone, just when he's speaking here, imagine it's a white person, and instead of black, they're using the word white. And just ask yourself how disturbing this would sound.
This is how we are. And so business and economic neighborhood development, the deputy mayor is a black woman. Department of Planning and Development is a black woman. Infrastructure deputy mayor is a black woman. Chief operations officer is a black man. Budget director is a black woman. Senior advisor is a black man. And I'm laying that out because when you ask, how do we ensure that our people get a chance to grow their business?
Who's our people now?
Who's
our people?
Who's
our people?
If anyone doesn't remember, we're paying attention like a year or so ago when there was all those people at the city hall complaining to the Chicago mayor that looked an awful lot like him, and they were complaining about all the money being spent on the illegals and where's our money. It didn't sound very generous to me.
Well, they were generous. They were generous to illegals. So I don't know why you're saying they're not generous. And I don't understand how he actually thinks he can go and make a public speech about how we're generous to black people. Like that doesn't like what are you even thinking?
There's another video of him talking about how he's more generous with black people.
Is that the next one on?
That's the next video, yeah.
All right, so let me pull that up over here. God, what an idiot.
To hire young people. Last year, almost 70% of those who received.
Let me show this here.
In my previous budget, we made a commitment to hire young people. Last year, almost 70% of those who received jobs through our youth investment were black children. In fact, 97% of those young people were black and brown. You know, those in my previous budget.
So stupid.
Yeah. 97% of the people they hired were black and brown. So in Chicago is like 40% white.
Were black children. 97% of those young people were black and brown. You know, those in my previous budget.
Oh my god. Such a stupid man. Oh my gosh. Well, so now give us the good news here. Give us the
Well,
good
someone else, our good friend Ron Coleman's ex-partner, or I don't know, whatever, Harmeet Dillon with the Department of Justice, Office of Civil Rights, saw that and said, "Oh, I think we have a problem here."
The mayor's troubling statements have led the Justice Department's Civil Rights and our colleagues at the EEOC to open an investigation. Stay tuned. This came out like yesterday, a day later. The Civil Rights Division has opened an investigation of the employment practices in the city of Chicago, Illinois, to determine whether it has engaged in a pattern or practice of racial discrimination in violation of Title VII of the Civil Rights Act.
If they start digging into the city of Chicago's hiring practices, they're gonna end up having to operate on some kind of, what is it, the agreement? What do they call it? Or like, there's gonna be an issue.
Let's see her letter. Dear Mayor Johnson, Department of Justice is opening an investigation to determine whether the city of Chicago, Illinois is engaged in a pattern or practice of discrimination based on race in violation of Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. You know, the Civil Rights Act that was passed in order to get blacks more rights? Yeah, it's swinging back around. The pendulum is swinging back. The pendulum is swinging! It is the responsibility of the Attorney General of the United States to enforce the provision of Title VII with respect to state and local government employers. The AG has delegated authority to investigate compliance with these provisions to the Assistant Attorney General of the Civil Rights Division. Title VII prohibits discrimination on the basis of race. When the Attorney General has reasonable cause to believe that a state or local government employee is engaged in a pattern or practice of discrimination in violation of Title VII, it is the Attorney General's responsibility to take appropriate action to eliminate that violation, including seeking injunctive relief. Sadly, I don't think there are any repercussions that he can face, which is sickening. Our investigation is based on information suggesting that you have made hiring decisions solely on the basis of race. In your remarks made yesterday at the Apostolic Church of God in Woodlawn, you stupid bozo, that you said the quiet part out loud, you highlighted the number of black officials in your administration. You then went on to list each of these individuals, emphasizing their race. Oh no, that was not what you should have done if you had a brain. So let's just get to the end of Harmeet's letter here. Yikes. Chief Operations, black man. Budget Director, black woman. Senior Advisor, black man. You then said you were laying these positions out to ensure that our people get a chance to grow their business. Considering these remarks, I've authorized an investigation to determine whether the city of Chicago is engaged in a pattern or practice of discrimination as set forth above. If these kind of hiring decisions are being made for top-level positions in your administration, then it begs the question whether such decisions are also being made for lower-level positions. It is important to note that we've not reached any conclusions about the subject matter of the investigation, despite the fact that you admitted to it in front of millions of people. We haven't reached any conclusions. We don't know. We intend to consider all relevant information, and we welcome your assistance in helping to identify what that might be. We would appreciate your cooperation in our investigation. And please contact us because we have questions. We actually listen to you, and we have questions. Now, I don't think that there's really any sort of actual punishment that he can be facing. That's the sickening thing of this whole thing. Like, that's what's so...
I don't know. Is there personal liability for public officials, like politicians, for like mayors and governors, if they violate people's civil rights or if they discriminate? I mean, or is it just financial?
You would think that there would be financial repercussions, not even for him personally, but for Chicago, for engaging in these sort of practices. Perhaps it opens a doorway for lawsuits from people who were victims of his racist patterns.
Yeah, maybe they'll start putting up ads in Chicago saying, "Have you been discriminated against by the city of Chicago?"
Yeah,
Contact us.
Did you apply for a job and then get discriminated against? Contact us. Yeah, exactly. They can be facing millions of dollars in lawsuits, and it would be greatly bolstered by a finding by a court that in fact they have engaged in these racial practices and that they have to stop. And then, if you imagine if you're a plaintiff who applied for a job to be the budget administrator or whatever other stupid job he was listing there, and you lost out and you're white, and you now can waive that decision from the court saying that they were being racist, you have as open and shut a case as you can possibly hope for, assuming that you're remotely qualified for the job. I mean, you can expect to get a pretty nice settlement from the city just soon after you file a lawsuit like that. That's probably going to be like a burgeoning business for the attorneys in the greater Chicago area. I would think. I would be excited to take cases like that if I was practicing in Illinois.
Does Blagojevich still have his law license, or did he lose it?
Who?
Rod Blagojevich. He might be able to get it back now since he was pardoned, so maybe he can start taking lawsuits against the city and get the Democrats back. I got you.
That'd be hilarious. Start taking money from those Democrats. Oh my God, that'd be great. All right, and we also have Alina Habba, right?
And we have Alina Habba, who she's a winner.
All right, so let me see the first story you put up here. All right, that's a good picture.
You said you wanted
Jim. I had one already. Thank you. Jim is a big Alina Habba fan.
I am,
and rightfully so.
Her husband is a very lucky man.
Is she married?
Yes.
Well, there you go.
I checked.
Are you married?
Me? No, I'm divorced.
Okay. All right. Breaking news. DOJ files charges against Representative LaMonica McIver for assaulting, impeding, and interfering with law enforcement. Ruh-roh. Oh, no. Acting U.S. Attorney. God, what is this?
I thought she was confirmed.
I don't know that she was confirmed yet. I think she was appointed, but I don't know that she's been confirmed yet. I'm not sure. You can go check that out. As reported by the Post Millennial, which is an awesome place that you guys should check out. And it's a place that I frequently will check for good stories. This is hot breaking news in that this came out over the last couple of hours. So you're like first. None of your friends know this story. So let's all pause, okay? And just sort of start taking notes because most of your friends don't know the story yet. Acting U.S. Attorney for the District of New Jersey, Alin Habba, announced on Monday evening that her office has filed charges against Representative LaMonica McIver. Not that McIver, the other McIver. This is representative for assaulting, impeding, and interfering with law enforcement during an incident earlier in May that saw McIver and other Democratic lawmakers breach a New Jersey ICE detention facility. McIver was seen on body camera footage pushing her way past security into the gates of Laney Hall. The video. Oh, we're totally looking at this video. We're totally doing that. Give me the video.
It's in one of the other links if it's not there.
Is this McIver?
She's wearing red. Right. See her elbowing him?
Oh my gosh.
Supposedly she threw a punch too, according to one of the agents.
Ooh. Look at that Big Mac coming at you.
And also in this whole thing, they had charged the mayor of Newark with trespassing or something. His name is like Baraka or something. And they talked to him and they brought him into the facility and everything, showed everything was fine. And they said, we understand and so they dropped the charges against the mayor, and they weren't even going to charge this lady. They wanted her to apologize to the agents or something and do something. She refused to do anything. So they say, all right, we're going to charge him.
Oh my God. He just assaulted me. Let's see if we can see. Because I'm trying to see if we see the assault.
Was she yelling rape?
Was she?
I don't know. It sounded like she was yelling.
Let's hear it.
Is she?
I think so. I think so. Oh my gosh. Oh, you're filing complaints. Are you now? Oh, yes, you can. You arrogant, self-involved, bloated politician, and bloated in every way possible. Unbelievable. By the way, ladies, and I guess I should say guys too, God forbid you ever find yourself in a situation where you're legitimately being attacked in that sort of way, which my friend over here is too much of a noob to realize you're not supposed to use that word here on my channel or on any channel that I don't want to be demonetized. But God forbid you find yourself in that situation, it's the worst thing to call out.
I thought she was just asking for some grape soda.
Right. Yeah. Good job. Good. That was very crisp. They're very clean, very professional there, Jim. Yeah. So what you're supposed to do is they say scream fire. You're more likely to get people to come out if you scream fire, if you're ever in that situation. Although I don't know how well that works in prison, but I don't know. It's easy to be generous with other people's money. Thank God Chicago is light on the hill for cities. It is. In Jim's world, Hannah was confirmed. Probably true. All of the above is probably true. So Alin Habba is going after this. I missed a couple. Am I in the wrong thing? I am in the wrong thing here. I'm looking at the wrong. Dagnabbit. I missed from J.H. Schwalbeck, who said, Joe, I have an idea. Showers, portable showers. Park them right outside the Diddy trial, $25 a head. You'll clean up because I feel dirty every time I hear about this trial. Jim, I see you. There you go. God bless you. Thank you for the generous rant there, brother. Showers. I feel like I need a shower every time I step out of that courtroom. I'm sitting in there. I'm just like, when are we getting a break? Oh my God, this is so brutal. So getting back here to this post-millennial story that we started with, they say McIver seen body cam footage pushing her way past security into the gates of Delaney Hall. New York mayor was arrested. I take my obligations as U.S. attorney seriously. I understand the responsibility that comes with my position. I will work diligently to uphold the law and deliver justice to the people in New Jersey, Habba wrote. After extensive consideration, we have agreed to dismiss Mayor Baraka's misdemeanor charge of trespass for the sake of moving forward. She added that in the spirit of public interest, I've invited the mayor to tour Delaney Hall. The government has nothing to hide at this facility.
Breaking news, Joe.
What do you got?
It says my memberships were reactivated. My monetization was given back.
There you go. I'll personally accompany the mayor so you can see this firsthand. That is awesome news. So there you go.
That is awesome. I feel so much better. Ooh.
I feel good for you.
Oh,
I'm happy.
Thank you.
Yay. Go, Jim. Go, Jim. Go, Jim. She noted that the dismissal against the mayor is not the end of this matter. Congressional oversight is an important constitutional function and one that I fully support. However, this is not at issue in this case. Representative LaMonica McIver assaulted, impeded, and interfered with law enforcement in violation of Title 18 U.S. Code 111A. Let's see what that is. 111A1. Let's check that out. Up to 3 years she's facing. Well, that's not bad. She's never going to get it. It's never going to happen, but it's nice that she could be facing that. That conduct cannot be overlooked by the chief federal law enforcement official in the state of New Jersey. It's my constitutional obligation to ensure that our federal law enforcement is protected when executing their duties. I have persistently made efforts to address these issues without bringing criminal charges and have given Representative McIver every opportunity to come to a resolution, but she has unfortunately declined. No one is above the law. This is something Alin Habba was hearing from Letitia James every day. No one is above the law when she was representing Trump in New York. Politicians or otherwise, it is the job of this office to uphold justice impartially, regardless of who you are. Now we'll let the justice system work it out. McIver said in a statement, earlier this month, I joined my colleagues to inspect the treatment of ICE detainees at Delaney Hall in my district. We were fulfilling our lawful oversight responsibilities. No, you weren't. As members of Congress have done many times before, and our visit should have been peaceful and short. Yeah. Instead, ICE agents created an unnecessary, unsafe confrontation when they chose to arrest Mayor Baraka. These charges against me are purely political. Yeah. Good luck. Good luck with that. You're so penny wise and pound stupid. The charges against me are purely political. They mischaracterize and distort my actions and are meant to criminalize and deter legislative oversight. This administration will never stop me from working for the people in our district and standing up for what is right. How is checking out a deportation facility looking out for the members of your district? How is that?
I think they're also supposed to give 24 hours notice before they show up to do any of this oversight.
Of course, I don't just get to show up and have a love rally, a love fest there and say, I'm a congresswoman, I can come in here. It's the stupidest thing in the world. I'm thankful for the outpouring of support I received, and I look forward to the truth being laid out clearly in court. Sorry, I have to respond here. All right. Sometimes I see something. It's like you know what they say: see something, say something. Mm-hmm. So I feel it's important. It's important for me to get my thoughts off before I forget them. So, all right. We
worked out almost perfectly.
It worked out. The timing worked out really, really well over here.
I had another one just in case, but
what do you got? What do you got? Because I actually set my other stream up for 10:40. If it's short one, I can squeeze it in.
Okay, 1 second. It's another one along the same line.
Freedom Forever says, in order to assist our family, honor my husband Kevin in the way he deserves, please consider going to this link and donate at GoFundMe. The smallest donation will help. That's very kind of you. Looking up for your husband. I'm looking at this link though. I'm not seeing.
It's in the private chat.
I tried clicking the link, and I'm not seeing it. This was a Rumble rant here that I just received from Freedom Forever. This is the link that I got. I'll share with you all so you can see what I'm looking at here. So you can be on the same page as me. In order to assist our family, honor my husband Kevin the way he deserves, please consider going to the link and donate. Smallest donation will help. When I click it,
nothing.
They asked me to verify my phone. Maybe it does work. Maybe if I put my phone number in here, it'll work. Oh my gosh! Now they want it. I don't trust what I'm seeing here. I don't know. But you guys can check it out, and if you can help out Freedom Forever, that'd be very cool of you. That will be very cool of you. All right. What do you got for me last?
It's another story of a politician assaulting federal ICE agents, this time from Massachusetts.
I saw that before we move on, maybe instead of doing that, I saw that Nancy was very bothered by the charges against MacIver.
Oh.
I saw she was very. Let me see if I can pull that up real fast. Nancy MacIver. Let me see if I can check it with Pelosi. All right. Well, I'm not seeing it right here and now. This is what I got for you. Here. Charges against Representative LaMonica MacIver are contentious, according to Grok. Evidence suggests she was in an ICE facility. I don't care about that. Congresswoman McIver, Pelosi says Congresswoman McIver was conducting legitimate oversight of an ICE facility as permitted by law. I join my Democratic colleagues in the House to extend my full support to her. There she is, doing her legitimate best. Apparently, this is what Democrats say. If you're not happy, then punch someone in the face. And if you see someone on the other side punching in the face, then charge them with a crime. Oh, I don't see the link here. Oh, look at this. Maybe this is better.
Oh yeah, there she is. She did throw a punch. Watch the top of the screen. Right there.
I see a shove. I do not see a punch. Oh, there it is. Oh, there it is.
See it?
Yeah.
So,
Uh-oh.
Lucy,
Oh,
you got some
no.
explaining to do.
Oh, no. Oh, no, it's on tape. She thought she could sneak that one in there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my gosh. There you go.
You know, I'm wondering if any of the other people did anything because Menendez's son was also there in another one.
Here she is. These baseless charges against Congresswoman Monica McIver are nothing more than a political stunt and a brazen attack on the constitutional Article 1 powers of the Congress. Congresswoman McIver was conducting legitimate oversight of an ICE facility as permitted by law. Please, that's legitimate. I join my Democratic colleagues in the House. Thank you. See, this is they basically are pushing them. Keep doing it. We'll get your back. Keep doing it. Keep acting like animals, and we'll get your back. They should treat it like a J6 defendant. That's what they should do. That's what they should do. Treat it like a J6 defendant. All right, Jim, why don't you tell people where they can find you?
You can find me on YouTube at Jim Tells You, on Rumble at Jim Tells You, on Twitter at Jim Satala, and at Locals at Satala Consulting LLC.
There you go.
I appreciate all the support. You guys got me to 1,000 subs, but we could keep on going from there. That would be just great.
Keep on going. Keep on going. Amen.
I plan on streaming every Sunday night at like 11 o'clock. So if Joe streams earlier, then he could, either come on if he wants or he doesn't have to. I'm not going to twist his arm or anything.
I won't agree with you. So, yeah.
No, it's not a big competition. It's, no. I wouldn't. I'm just saying, you seem to stream a little earlier on Sunday, so.
I don't know. I never know what I'm going to. It really depends how my Sunday is going. So we'll sort of spin and go. But I urge you guys, make sure you check out Jim Tells You. He didn't give me the link yet for me to throw in the description. But if he does, I will. I'm redirecting you over to Diddy. Today in the Diddy trial, we saw basically attorneys trying to rack up billing hours, because sometimes when you have an attorney, it was kind of funny how they, instead of actually attacking the story from Cassie's BFF, they just fleshed it out. And I was just like, I don't know what Diddy's defense got out of the last hour and a half of cross-examination. I'm going to break all that down for you, and how the day started really great for the Diddy defense. I mean, they looked really good against Don Richard. Not so good against Kerry, against BFF Kerry. That is all coming up in just moments. I'm redirecting you over there now. Please make sure that you like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Tomorrow I'm going to be dropping 2 more vids. Total years, who knows? I mean, they're going for 3 years. That's what they're going for. So that's the as far as total years, but who knows what's going to come of it? It's impossible to tell. Every time I try enlarging something, it screws with Rumble. Rumble does not like when I hit enlarge. All right. Well, anyway. Oh, is there one more here? FD Man says being a Congress member does not mean you can assault a federal agent, nor does it mean you can trespass when access is denied. U.S. does not deserve black culture and cartel-loving culture. Amen. Amen. We need to start locking these people up. They're not going to stop. It's not going to stop until they face actual repercussion. So let's do it. Let's do it. Your mouth to God's ear. All right. I'm going to add him into the description. Please make sure. Let me do it now before I leave. Otherwise, I'm going to feel bad. It's not going to happen otherwise.
Well, I'll be back tomorrow as long as Joe will have me.
Possibly. Good night, Dread Pirate Roberts. I may kill you in the morning. You may be dead in the morning, but good work today. Good work today, Jim. May kill you in the morning.
Yeah, whatever. It happens.
All right. I think do I have it here? No, that's not that. That's not the right place. That's not the right place. Need to put it here and edit in. And Jim tells you over here. Right. There it is. Lamb meat. Do you eat lamb meat?
Never.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Because you know what they say.
Yeah, I don't eat it.
You know, okay. Lamb meat is
I won't even go
that-
to Burger King anymore since they started those Impossible Whoppers. I think they try to slip them in there.
I don't know. I wouldn't put anything past them. If you ask me, the whole thing's a scam. Yeah, it's for them. It's not for you. And do not eat the bugs. I'm going to see you over in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes covering Diddy. Till then, good night, Goldspeed.